Nelson Mandela Bay. We're in Port Elizabeth and it's day number 2 in the first Castle Test between South Africa and the West Indies. It's an absolutely fantastic day. No cloud in the sky. A good day for surfing, some say, but also a really brilliant day for batting. That's what the West Indies did. They were put in by Graham Smith yesterday, and Chris Gayle and Darren Ganga got them off to a wonderful start, putting on a 98. Since then, 281 for 4 is what they amassed, and the bowlers will want to do much better than they did yesterday. Out in the middle right now, Shivnarine Chanderpaul is with Dwayne Bravo. Bravo yet to score, and will be looking to provide really good support for his partner, his senior partner at the other end. The new ball is in hand for the South Africans. They've bowled 84 overs. They bowled them yesterday, and it was some strife towards the end of the day before going off for bad light as far as the batsmen were concerned. So an interesting day ahead, and Styn to start things off. Kipler Vessels is alongside me. Morning, Kipler.
Good morning, Pommy. Important session for both teams. South Africa would like to make significant inroads with the second new ball, and the West Indians would like to consolidate and go on to get 400 plus. Styn last night in his last spell with that second new ball got quite a lot of swing, and I think there'll be some swing this morning as well. Looks like a light easterly wind blowing.
Just the start that the West Indies would not have wanted. Well, maybe not quite. Didn't carry. Had to go forward, Herschel Gibbs, and straight away signaled not a catch.
There's some extra bounce there. It came off the shoulder of the bat. Herschel Gibbs diving forward. Initially looked like, and the slips were pretty excited, they thought it was out, but then Gibbs got up and said, well, I'm not sure. Can't see it from that angle, unfortunately. But the decision has been made. Herschel Gibbs probably didn't have control of the ball in the end either.
If Slips got excited, I got excited. Everyone was gone.
Well, first impression, definitely. You thought it was straight in. But Herschel Gibbs will be the one who knows, and knows exactly. So he wasn't sure, and that's normally a good indication that the ball either didn't carry, and then a second look, it just seemed that he didn't hold on to the ball, that it slipped out as well.
Yeah, you also get a good indication from the bowler. The bowler didn't react too much, just had a look. Now, what you don't expect from South Africa is that they would make the same mistakes with this new ball as they did with the first. Styn tried hard. Yes, there may have been a little bit of rustiness. They've had a couple of weeks off, and coming into this test match will not be quite on song, and things will get better as they go along. But you don't expect that today, after the dressing down on the issues of yesterday, things would pan out exactly the same. Good delivery.
Late swing, very good area as well.
It's gone for 4. It's gone very fine. That's like a simple tuck off the hip. Normally expect to go for 1. 4 to Bravo.
Styn trying to bowl the miracle delivery there. He's trying to pitch that on leg stump and getting it to swing away, and it so often happens when you do that it just goes straight down leg side, which is exactly what happened there. He bowled a few good away swingers, but a few plays and misses, and the batsman leaving the ball go, and then you try and start it too straight, and then it doesn't swing.
Up in the air and over gully. Shots of catch it from Makhaya and Ntini. Looking to drive off the back foot. Dwayne Bravo, and the ball got just a bit big on him. pretty similar to the ball before, except this time a bit wider.
And he did the right thing there, Dwayne Bravo. When he decided to go at it, he went very hard at it. Came off the outside edge, cleared gully pretty comfortably. No third man in position.
Oh, up in the air, and Ntini under it. No, clash. One of them's caught it. You could just see the two running into one another. Ntini hangs on to it in the end. And the first wicket goes down of the morning. And a wide awake Jeffrey Dujon. Good morning, Jeff.
Morning, Jackers. And disaster strikes for the West Indies. Delivery seemed to just maybe bounce a little bit more than Dwayne Bravo expected. Played across the line of it and just the top edge. And not even there did he have a little bit of luck. So West Indies lose the first wicket of the morning. Dwayne Bravo goes for 12. It's 296 for 5.
Dinesh Ramdin, the next man in, playing in his 20th Test match. Very early in his career, really. 5 50s at this level. And so easily could that catch have gone down, a simple catch as it was. There's apparent lack of communication between Gibbs and Ntini. Good channel right up front. Dwayne Bravo looking to whip this away through the onside. Gets a leading edge, goes straight up in the air. And I could just see the two of them running into one another as it was. That's exactly what happened, but Ntini fortunately hung on to it. What are you doing?
There's just a hint of bounce from at the end that Makhaya and Ntini is bowling from. We've seen a couple of deliveries just take off from back of a length. And that was a slightly quicker delivery. 144k. Just to wake Ramdin up. Played it well eventually. Just putting a little bit more of his back into that one, Dale Styn. That's more like the pace that we've seen him bowling at, around 140, 145k. The West Indian 300 comes up. And looking at this surface, I would reckon they'd need quite a few more.
I'm staying a little disappointed that Ramdin, right-handed Ramdin, and the new batsman got off strike so quickly. He would have liked to ball or two more of this over at him. That put away by Chanderpaul. Beautifully put away, and that takes him through to some form of a record. 7 successive Test 50s. And that doesn't mean in matches, it means in Test innings. He joins Everton Weekes and Andy Flower of Zimbabwe, who have both achieved that. Some record.
Darren Sammy, the next batsman in, and then it will be the Quicks. And he's gone. Just a little outside edge, just straightened slightly, Ntini. Just enough to take that edge, and Boucher takes another catch. It's been Ntini's morning. This delivery, just doing enough to take that outside edge. Easy catch from Mark Boucher, and Dinesh Ramdin has to depart. He's only made one, and West Indies now 304 for 6.
So the band have got something to
cheer up about, or at least to play to, as the new batsman comes in, Daren Sammy, who Chef Dujon was singing the praises of prior to this test match starting, saying that it was a sensible selection, useful seam bowler, and more than just useful with the bat, so a bit of an all-rounder. Jeff also said that with Daren Sammy, the batting stops. Ntini off the mark straight away.
Got a good stride in there, Daren Sammy. Nice positive move. And this would be the wicket of Ramdin, playing inside the line of that delivery. And just feathered the catch to Mark Boucher.
Oh, in the air. There were cries of catch it, and justifiably so, but it's going to make its way to the boundary.
It went in the air, but looked like a stroke that Chanderpaul was in control of. Picked that gap between gully and point. Picked it perfectly, and once it got through there, it was always going to be 4. So a little flurry of runs from the West Indies since Daren Sammy has come to the wicket. Chanderpaul looking a little bit more eager to play a few shots.
There's another one, too short this Styn, and punished. And beautifully done too.
That is a good shot. He's occasionally come out with a pull or a hook. Every time he has, he's played it superbly, Shivnarine Chanderpaul.
I think that's just an indication that Makhaya Ntini is getting a little bit tired. And that delivery didn't quite come out as quickly as he wanted it to. It's a good shot into position quickly for the pull shot.
Good cricket stroke. Good enough to find the boundary. Well, a couple of Estels mentioned that he's a good-looking player. He's found some form already on this tour. This was a quality stroke.
And he fights hard. Doesn't give his wicket away easily.
He's given that the full treatment. Boundary confirmed by Russell Tiffin. Have to say it got what it deserved, but a width short.
It was a poor delivery and well struck by Sammy. He's a good batting pitch. Just enough pace to work with. Gave that one the full treatment over cover. Andre Nel won't be enjoying that.
Another one. 3:42 now for 6.
Well, that wasn't a good over. It's giving him plenty of practice for the square cut, and he plays it well, Sammy. Second one in the over that he hit over point. 2 good shots.
This is proving to be a nice little bonus here for the West Indians.
Shouts of catch. Oh, talk about sighters. Have a look.
Well, that brings up the 50 partnership. And that first delivery, Daren Sammy, it's Pomimbango said, didn't bother to have a look, just had a go. A legitimate stroke over cover. There's a bit of a gap there, so safe enough. So another 50 partnership for the West Indies. This innings has been built on partnerships. 51 between these two. See where this one pitched. Seemed to be pitching outside off stump.
That's the quick one. Has he got it on line? Not according to umpire Alim Dar. He also seemed to be the only one going up. It's a good shot. It's going down leg though. You can see the keeper's gloves going down the leg side. Watch Mark Boucher. He's going to collect it on the other side of leg stump.
Well, here's an appeal. Here's an appeal. I think he's probably safe. Big long strides. After some thought, Alim Dar's decided to go up to Rudy Koertzen. I think he's okay.
Players' reactions, it looks as if they're doubtful. Maybe a bit closer than one thinks. Brilliant piece of work from de Villiers. We've seen a similar sort of situation in South African cricket before, many years ago. Looks like the bail just took ages to come off. Will this angle help us? I think it's tight. Where is the bat? Can't quite make out there. Bail's out. Is the bat over the line? On the line's also out. This may be a better one.
Oh, this is close. This is close. Now, when is the bail on and when is it off? Is it off? If it is off now, he's out. Because there's no part of that bat grounded behind the line. Line's quite a thick one, by the way. But if Rudy Koertzen feels that that bail is off, I think the whole bail has to be out of the grooves. If there's a piece of wood attached to the stump somewhere, like that looks right now, then he's safe. I think he's going to give this not out. He's given it. He's given it. In his eyes, the bail had left the stump, which is why I think he went back. Because the director of the TV production is in touch with the third umpire. The third umpire will ask for a certain shot again if necessary. And I think that's why, Darryl, he asked for the one from the back, because you couldn't see whether the bat was in or not from there. But the overhead one from the back did tell him whether the bail was still touching a piece of the stump. And in his view, the whole bail had left the grooves. Gone for 38. 7th wicket falls. This is Jerome Taylor, the new batsman. And now this is where Graham Smith's got to get clever. He's got to bowl as many balls as possible at Jerome Taylor. As many.
Well, this ball set the tone for the rest of the series. Ntini to Taylor. West Indian tail to come. It's Taylor Edwards. Brilliant work. You've got to actually acknowledge what a fine piece of fielding that was by AB de Villiers. John D. Rhodes would have been proud of that.
Tell you what, that was one of the better angles to make a decision from, that. Whoopsie. Twice in 2 balls he's hit him. I wonder what they said about this lad at the team talk.
Just saying, Robin, it's always a moment to watch out in the Test series. Taylor, Edwards and Powell, they are the firepower of the West Indians, and the South Africans have said, well, we're going to fight fire with fire. Let's soften them up. A couple of the opening batsmen won't be too pleased with this, but it's all part of cricket.
And that's off line, and he'll get 4 for this. On the leg side, and got enough bat on it. There's nobody that fine, so he goes on to 83.
That's poor delivery. A shake of a head by Graham Smith there. He's not happy, but it was a good sweep shot. It was an attempted arm ball, but he started it too much leg side, and it just never swung at all. So Chanderpaul was onto it quickly. That's a very good shot. Poor delivery. Too much leg side, but well played by Taylor.
Well, he's not exactly a rabbit, Jerome Taylor, and when I told Jackers before that the batting stops at Sammy, I wasn't exactly giving Jerome Taylor enough credit. He's played some nice shots, some batsman strokes. Picked that one up nicely off his legs. There's nobody in that area.
Quicker delivery, full, big shot for LBW. Not out, says umpire Dar. Graham Smith can't believe it. We've seen that expression a few times in this innings, haven't we?
Well, this was a rapid delivery, 97k. Full and fast. Got Jerome Taylor on the toe.
Got him right through his defences. It swung as well, and this time right on target. Fantastically bowled.
Fast becoming Styn's signature ball, the swinging Yorker. And this was a beauty. Doesn't get much better than that. Stump out the ground. I think that would have been defeated many better players. West Indies now 385 and 48. Daren Powell, the new batsman, what sort of reception will he get from Dale Styn? He scored some handy one-day runs for the West Indians, more than useful down the order. 36 not out, he's best. These could be critical runs. Look back on the test match, and for both sides, if the bottom order just get a few runs, could make a telling difference in the end. There's a man back on the square leg boundary, 3 slips and a gully.
Good bowling. That's where you want to be first up. Shot. Brilliant shot. Great balance. He's strong there, Chanderpaul. 394 for 8.
Such a clever player, Chanderpaul. You have to admire his grit, his determination. Plays well within himself. Missed the previous ball, beaten all ends up for pace. Played down the wrong line.
Shot. It was short and wide, and Shivnarine Chanderpaul was onto it very quickly. He's seeing it well now. You'd expect he would be. Moves on to 97.
It was almost as if he was waiting for this. Happy to just push anything that was full down the ground. And there you go. Drop it short, I'm taking you on. No man has gone back. Last ball of Styn's over. Man's on 97. What's Styn got to offer? Slow ball wide. 398 for 8.
That's a simple single. Nicely in the gap. They trot through for one and bring up 400 for the West Indies. Fantastically done. Remember, folks, they were asked to bat first when Graham Smith won the toss yesterday, and they've done so in fine fashion. As an aggregate, it was Jeffrey Dujon who said if you get more than 600 runs, you shouldn't lose a test match. They've got 400 of them.
I still wouldn't bet on anything at this stage, Tommy.
Yeah, lots of cricket to play. It's up in the air, there's nobody out there, and nobody going to catch that. Certainly a couple on offer. He's going back for the third because that brings up 100, number 17. Really, really well done and much appreciated by his teammates, and applauded also by the spectators who have come to watch the second day of the test match. Kneels down and kisses the turf. Does it pretty much every time on every ground that he scores 100. As if to say, I want to roll it up and take it with me. He's been patient, and he's had to be.
All the hallmarks of good test match batting. Determination, patience. It's been all part of this good 100 from Chanderpaul.
Bowling. Nell at last has removed a man who has stood solid for 2 days, all but a session. And Andre Nell must be very pleased that he's managed to get past the defence of somebody who's shown such resistance.
Good delivery as well, coming around the wicket. The ball was angling in through the air and then moved away off the seam. So that was an excellent delivery by Andre Nell. As we said, there's something there for the bowlers. 407 now for 9.
So 407 for 9, then Fidel Edwards comes to the crease. The time is 10 to 3. Tea is due to be at 10 past 3. If these two gentlemen are still batting at 10 past 3, the session will be extended by half an hour or until the wicket falls. .407 for 9. A fantastic delivery from Andre Nell to get rid of Chanderpaul. It had to have been. The way he was playing, he wasn't going to miss a straight delivery. Something had to happen. Certainly did. Play and a miss from Edwards. Have another look at that wicket. Swung in a little bit and then pitched and held its own. There, fantastic ball.
Chanderpaul didn't do much wrong. That was almost an unplayable delivery from around the wicket to the left-hander, angling in through the air and then seaming away. He seemed to have it covered, but it just beat the outside of the bat.
Bowled in. That's the end of the innings. Off stump, flies out of the ground. Nell finishes with 3, as does Ntini. Oh, hello. There's a no ball been called from the square leg umpire. 3 players behind square on the onside. That's the story. There's a man back at deep backward square leg. There's a fine leg, and I can only assume that Hashim Amla at short leg must have had 1 foot on the leg side or the behind square of the propping crease of the line there. He's in front of square now. You can see him standing there. But my guess is when that ball was bowled, his right foot was either on that line or just beyond it.
Oh, that's not very clever. The rule says clearly you can't have 3 fielders behind square on the leg side. So I don't know what he was thinking on that occasion. He's way behind. That's amazing. I find it difficult to believe that that can happen at test level, don't you?
You do. You wonder how long he's been there for. It's just so basic, and that no one else has noticed, apart from Amla not realising that. I mean, he's only got to look around him and think, hang on, am I okay here? Because I've got 2 men behind me there and there. I must be in front of square.
But he's out this time. So on this occasion, didn't cost South Africa any runs, didn't cost Andre Nel really. Nel gets his 3rd wicket. West Indian innings comes to an end. They got to 400, which under the circumstances for them has been an excellent effort. Here's just a look at that last wicket. Fiddle Edwards not over the top of it. Gibbs takes a comfortable catch, or Ashwell Prince takes a comfortable catch at backward point. So the West Indians will be very happy with this effort. South Africa, perhaps on the other hand, not quite so, but it sets it up for an entertaining test match.
It certainly does. South Africa will find it difficult to win from here. Not impossible, seen it happen, but it certainly isn't easy when a day and 3/4 has gone by the time you get to bat. And there's 400 and staring in your face. So West Indies have done the first thing very well. And when you consider they hadn't chosen to do that, Marlon Sammy has told me this morning that they were going to bowl if they'd have won the toss as well, which would have been interesting. Gale 66, Ganga 33, as was Morton. And then Samuels, a wonderfully patient 94, followed by a rock-solid century from Chanderpaul. And then contributions from Bravo and from Daren Sammy. Very good contribution from him. And the bowler stuck hard at it. The wicket shared around 2 for Styn, 3 for Ntini, and 3 for Nel. And a good marathon performance from Harris, 1 for 69. 408 all out then, the West Indies. 209 is the follow-on target. Sitting next to me, Kepler Wessels, as he was just prior to the tea interval. We'll be taking you through till 3:30 local time. And the West Indies overall must be very pleased with their performance, Kepler.
No doubt about that whatsoever. They'll be very relieved as well, because coming into this test match, they looked very tentative. They were unsure of themselves, but they turned that around and they batted quite superbly to put themselves in a strong position. They will want to try and use this new ball very well to make inroads into the South African top order. Graham Smith hasn't played well of late. He's searching for runs. The big score will do his confidence the world of good today. Herschel Gibbs is with him. Of course, the last innings he played was a brilliant one against New Zealand at Newlands, where he got a magnificent one-day 100. Attacking field placing, as we would expect. 3 slips in a gully. Short leg as well, so West Indies looking to strike with this new ball. Daren Powell is going to do the honours.
Right on target, first ball. Smith gets it away on the onside, off the mark. That's beautifully bowled, beautifully bowled. That is the channel. That is the channel, and a little bit of outswing. Gibbs goes for naught.
Excellent delivery. Herschel Gibbs played at one that he had to play at. Couldn't really let it go. It was close to off stump, but it swung, and it swung late. Good seam position as well. Thick outside edge. A very easy catch there to Ramden behind the stumps, but an important blow for the West Indies. They're off and running. South Africa lose their first one. Gibbs is on his way for naught. 1 for 1.
So Amler then. Number 3s have to virtually be opening batsmen. They never know that they're not going to be in as early as he is right now. They have to be able to cope with a new ball. Playing his 18th test match. Just got over 1,000 runs. It's the end of the over. And a good one too. What a start for the West Indies. Gibbs gone then. South Africa reply to 408 all out. 2 for 1. That'll be 4. That's nicely played by Smith. You certainly don't bowl there to him. He's strong through the onside from off stump. He's even stronger from leg stump.
Well, if you're going to bowl there to him, he's going to punish you all day. Disappointing from a West Indian point of view, that, because the whole international cricket community knows that. That's the one place you don't bowl to him. So Graeme Smith played this well, right into his strength. Good balance, good timing.
Oh, what a shot. You just spoke about it a couple of balls ago, Jeffrey, and there's the illustration or the proof. Anything on those pads, or most things on those pads, will disappear for 4 in that region.
Well, you could see this coming. Anything pitched in that region is just food for Graeme Smith.
Shot. Got big on him just a touch, but he was able to ride the bounce, Graeme Smith, and capitalize on the short, wide delivery. Nicely in front of square as well for 4.
Suggesting that that delivery didn't come up very quickly. Gave him all the room in the world. And he had a lot of time to just get on top of that and play it early.
That's nicely done. Tucked off the hip. Lots of work for Edwards. He's tried hard, but in vain. It's 4.
Well, Jerome Taylor seems to be having his own problems getting the ball on off stump to the right-hander. Powell didn't have any problem doing that.
And again, this time absolutely no chance for Fidel Edwards. Played even finer. Hashim Amla has done well to get it that fine.
Well, they need to start thinking, the West Indies. I mean, they've got 408 on the board, but they can't afford this kind of loose bowling. That's really a free hit.
Through the gap. Prodded at it. Got an outside edge. But got 4 for it as well.
And he's looked a lot more comfortable, Jerome Taylor, bowling to the left-hander. Using a natural angle. And this one very nearly got him a wicket. Graeme Smith getting a thick enough edge. There are those hands going away from the body. Gets a thick enough edge to get it down to vacant third man. So he gets 4, but that should encourage Jerome Taylor to try to direct his attack more in that area.
Very good delivery that. It's out. The finger has gone up. Really full. And umpire Russell Tiffin thought about it for a bit, but couldn't find fault in it, and so lifted the finger. The skipper's gone.
Well, there wasn't much doubt about that. No bat on it, and that would have hit middle stump with a fearful whack. pretty straight, straightening, and no question, good decision from the umpire, and South Africa lose their second wicket. Graham Smith, the captain, goes for 28. It's 45 for 2.
Jacques Kallis, the rock of the South African batting order. Those numbers tell you that. An average of 58.21, 29 hundreds, same number as Don Bradman, 45 50s, and the best of 189 not out. More than 9,000 test runs. He's an all-rounder in this South African side. He bowls, he bats, as those numbers suggest. And he also fields, has got more than 100 catches in test matches. And in the bowling department, more than 200 wickets. He's got to do a lot of batting here.
Nicely done.
These two together have done well in the recent past, and they'll be looking to do the same. Very wristy, Hashim Amla. And you bowl there, he'll be quite happy all day.
Shot. Terribly strong through the onside. So wristy.
He'll clip you all day through the onside, Hashim Amla. Even straight balls, if the length is good, he'll work you away in that direction. Has an ease to his stroke play. Talented player. Good time of the ball.
Out! You were dead right, Daryl Cullinan. You were dead right. Kallis goes for naught. Good catch at third slip.
They cock-a-hoop, the West Indians. They deserve to be. This has been some really good bowling. Unusual stroke from Kallis. Just followed it, went with it. Actually was trying to get the blade out the way, but wow, what a good catch. We'll have to wait a few test matches to see a catch as good as that. The big man is gone. Kallis out for a duck. South Africa now are in a spot of bother at 53 for 3.
Day 2 of this first test match. And we're halfway through, well, not quite halfway through the final session of the day. 3 men out, Gibbs, Smith and Kallis. Prince just needs 6 more runs for 2,000 runs in Test cricket. Averaging just over 40 with 600 650s. It's a nice split. Good conversion rate. And that's the end of the over. 53 for 3. You must not bowl there to Amla. Bowled him! First ball back. Yorker, middle stump, and he's off and running. And South Africa are in real trouble now.
One of their mainstays, Hashim Amla, he's gone. Seemed to lose this delivery. Straight, full, played all around it. Played a bit early as well. It's left this crowd quiet and stunned. Amla goes for 29. South Africa 63 now for 4.
AB de Villiers. The future, the youth in this side. Quick word with Ashwell Prince. Be along the lines of swung or whatever. Yeah, 1 or 2 there. Oh, okay.
success or lack of success they've had recently. That was cut away by Prince. Don't think that he'll catch it. So that's 4 genuine square cut.
There it is. That's a good shot. He's off the mark with a boundary. It's Taylor's 7th over of the spell as well, so he's probably getting a little bit tired.
So well played shot from AB de Villiers. As Captain Vessels was saying, he's been uncharacteristically patient, got some room and made use of it.
It's a good stroke again. Square of the wicket through the offside, picks the gap where extra cover would have been.
Oh, that's just perfectly timed. Didn't bother to move. That one was out of the middle of the bat, over pitched, but he found the gap he wanted. 4 more to AB de Villiers. So in the space of 2 balls, he's started to look, rather signal his intent thus far. And that's what you do with a half volley. Didn't seem to hit it very hard, so he timed it really well.
It's important from a West Indian perspective as well, not to get carried away with the early success. They've got to understand that there's a lot of cricket still to be played in this game, and they've got to keep their standards up. They've got to make it difficult for these two to score. Better luck there for Ashwell Prince. Thick outside edge, no third man in position. It brings him a boundary. 21 overs gone now, 93 for 4.
Gone! Outside edge into the slip cordon, gobbled up, and number 5 is gone. It's Prince.
Another angry batsman. He knows he's made a mental area, pushing at one, which has left him. And the West Indians are snatching them, taking all the opportunities here. 96 for 5. Mike Kallis kicks the ground in disgust as Ashwell Prince has to go. A little start, but that's not going to be the story here for South Africa. 96 for 5.
Mark Boucher, the street fighter, the staffy, they call him, because he's always up for a fight, a scrap. In situations like this, he won't give up. That's his record. Average of 30, nearly 4,000 runs, has played 107 matches for South Africa, so has served them well. 400s in those 107 test matches. It's a situation one would ask for. 96 for 5. But it's a situation he'll know something about. Well, good afternoon, Mark Boucher.
The short legs in place, a little nasty one to start off his innings. Well, this can either intimidate you or really get you going in a positive fashion. It's so easily. I found the glove and gone straight up. Looking to play, it's got big on him. Looks to drop the hands, get the head out the way.
Easily put away. It was short. It was a loosener, really, from Fidel Edwards. And it was dispatched.
It's grimacing a bit, Fidel Edwards. He pulled up earlier on. He's brought up the 100 for South Africa. His previous spell bowled a quick delivery, which actually went for boundary, and then there was a moment where he seemed to almost stop and stretch and feel his ankle and got through the over.
Oh dear, those cries of catch it. Oh, and a slip in the field, I think it's fair to say. He had it pretty covered, and then the feet went from under him, and that's where he lost it.
Still a little bit lucky here, Mark Boucher. It was not a bad bouncer. There are two fielders back, especially for the miscued hook shot, and it certainly was miscued. He was in the air for a long time, but he picked the gap between the two fielders. And then the slip that Robin Jackman referred to. Powell will be pretty disappointed on 2 counts. First, that it didn't carry to the fielder, and second, that there was a misfield, allowing a boundary that shouldn't have been. That's a good shot, full delivery, driven strongly through the covers.
Shot. That'll be 4. Driven down the ground from about off stump past the leg stump the other end between bowler and mid-on.
Good shot. Half volley, but well struck.
Under the eyes. And that does close down day 2, a day that, as day 1 did, belonged entirely to the visitors.
South Africa chasing 408, 122 for